suppose I will wait a little bit to see if anyone's watching. Um, we'll see. So for those of you who just jumped on, I'm probably gonna just wait a couple minutes until I have a few people um, watching, and then I'm gonna jump in. Right now, I'm just kind of playing with some colors, um, just trying to look for different colors that I'm seeing in the reference. Okay. So how's everybody doing today? You four awesome viewers out there. I never know if this thing's working when I first start it, but it looks like it is. Come and save. So excited to be here. That's a very strange YouTube name. Come and save. So, what I was thinking of doing is, well, let me just say welcome to those who are here. I am, I'm going to be, hey, Stefan. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I'm going to be doing a live demo for the Lightbox convention that's coming up soon. And this is all kind of new for me, this streaming thing. And I did the sketch last week, and I kind of spontaneously decided to do a live stream, and it was cool. Some people followed along, so I decided I would just maybe start blocking this in. It's sort of a test for the thing I have coming up at Lightbox. So this is all new. It's it's a reminder to have me save my work. That's awesome. So I decided I would just kind of paint for a little bit, and if people want to ask questions, that's fine. A lot of times when I do these kind of paintings, I'll decide on a certain palette that I want to work with. I like to work with a Zorn palette a lot, and you can see that in my online classes at schools. And I create like a palette and how to make an array of you know colors and values based on those mainly three colors plus black and white. Um, Sometimes I like to use split comp palettes. With this one, I kind of felt like I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I'm gonna kind of paint by feeling. I started just like looking at the reference, and then this is actually a way I like to paint quite a lot when I'm working on quick deadlines. I like to just go over to this uh, color picker here and just move around and look at this um, little box here until it feels like it matches values and temperatures I see here. And then I just kind of start making marks all over the place of color and values that I see. And then from there, I just kind of start blocking in. Um, it's not very scientific or uh, I guess that complicated of a thing. It's just enough information basically just to start having fun. Start putting things down. Um, so yeah. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first create a layer that I'm going to put underneath, just to kind of block in a little bit, and then I'm going to start painting on top of the whole thing. And I'm going to probably start with something that feels more like a mid-tone. And that's pretty much how I want to get started. And I'm going to go ahead and just like cover everything, even the whites of the eye and all that, because um, I want to be able to pull my color and values and so on out of everything. I might as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the background similar as well. So first things first. By the way, the brush that I'm using is I decided to not use a fancy brush that a lot of people might not have. Um, so this is a brush that should come with Photoshop. It's brush number 24. I've been using it for years. This is what it looks like when I make it big. So I like it because it's got a lot of nice, brushy feel to it, but it doesn't have any textures or anything like that. So no fancy canvas texture or anything like that. So it's very just basic. Comes with Photoshop. Everyone should be able to have it, easily use it. Um, and let's see. But I like to keep this part simple. Just kind of quickly block in some color. This part's fairly easy and self-explanatory. Really, I just want to have fun. I'm looking forward to painting. Been doing a lot of work. I have some tutorials I've been working on lately, that I'm hoping to have ready for the Lightbox convention. And so I've been working on those, and hopefully I'll have two of them ready by the time Lightbox happens. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to match like a grayish value that kind of seems similar to that back value, but it's also going to be share some harmony with this color here because I'm using the same warm background. But I'm actually going to put this behind him in case I want to change it or anything like that. So, and also I don't like to just fill in the background. I like to paint it. When you fill it in, it's too perfect looking, and I don't like that. Why don't you take the colors from the reference with the color picker? I could do that, but it feels a little bit more like my own choices if I do it this way. You know what I mean? You were an oil painter, Stefan. You know what I'm talking about. So like I could just eye drop the whole thing, but that's not really. I don't really get much out of it, and I don't think that it's. I don't think it's fun. I don't think I'm really learning much. The thing that you'll hear me repeat all the time with my work is that I try to emulate a traditional feel with my digital work, just because I think it looks better. It's got more of an original feel, um, and so I like things to not be as perfect, and I like things to be a little bit more sort of hand done, or I have that feeling anyways. it's really easy when you paint digitally to get too digital, if that makes sense. So I'm still trying to have fun with it. So I want to cool that down a lot more. So I'm going to kind of block that in more. All right. And I just feel like when you paint, it's for me anyways. When I paint as digital or as traditionally as I can while painting digitally, there's going to be but and what I mean by that is kind of doing like underpaintings or building up. It tends to leave different marks and different kind of imperfections that just give it that more unique quality, a more original feel to it. So that's another reason why I like to do it that way. Plus, I don't want to forget the whole reason I'm doing this is because I like to paint. So so anyway, Stefan, I don't know. I always feel like I say it wrong, but I hope you're doing well, man. It's been a long time. I love seeing your photography and your paintings. They're pretty awesome, man. They're really good. Do you work on the whole painting at the same time or at the same levels for transparency and flow? Basically, yeah. Like right now, my opacity and flow are at 100%. I might change that, but right now it doesn't really matter. It's all about how hard I press down when I'm working. So let's see. Oops, the wrong layer. And actually, I'm gonna just start. I've got like this tone pushed down here now. I'm gonna start kind of just blocking in. I just noticed this eye. I feel like it could be a little bit wider, but maybe I'll work on that later. But anyways, there's like the pencil layer here. There's the under layer that I just put down. I don't need that there. Let's get rid of that. Um, so I think that's enough of an underpainting. I mean, I could start blocking in different things, but I might as well just start painting on top right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. And normally, what I'll do is like flatten the whole thing and just keep it on one layer. But I'll keep it like this for now in case I want to change something. But I just want to kind of start blocking in shapes and stuff. And sorry if I don't know if anybody can hear it or not, but my two teenage daughters are upstairs having a fun time watching YouTube videos and stuff. So hopefully they're not going to be too crazy. Um, yeah. So I like to just kind of block in. I try really hard to not zoom in for a while. Try to, you know, block in as much as I can, looking at it from a distance, and try not to worry about the details because what ends up happening for me, anyways, is I get too caught up in the details, and that's not, you know, it's not good for timing and all sorts of things. Let's see. This way I can just focus on the whole piece at once instead of um, getting too caught away with just painting the eyes or something like that. Okay, let's see. So there's a few areas that I've kind of picked out as darker colors, darker values that I'm going to try to um, just stick to those basic colors, and within those different shapes there's going to be a lot more like darker darks and just like a variation of value change, but I'm going to try to keep it simple at first. I really like this photo reference though because there's a lot of there's a nice variation of darks and cools on his face, and it's just fun to paint. It's a lot of fun to try to capture. Actually, I want to make that even more of a cooler. So, hey Riley, how's it going? Um, yeah, I like watching people paint too, but only if it's artists that I really like. I hate. I get. It's different doing this. Like this always feels weird for me, but um, I'm glad that you're joining and watching. It's cool. This is also nice because there's so much crap going on that I think it's nice to kind of just distract yourself with art. Definitely makes me feel better to be able to just take some time to like stop thinking about all the insanity that's going on for just a little bit. Just paint. Um, but yeah, I love it. Painting is the best. I'm hoping to, in a little bit, probably when this light box thing is over, because I have a lot. I'm trying to plan for that, but I'm hoping to get into some serious oil painting very soon. I've got some ideas I want to work on, and I want to see if I can somehow film that. But I'm not. I don't really have the equipment yet for that to do a live stream, so I have to figure out what I would need and how to do that. But I'd really like to do that. So yeah, yeah, I got to disconnect from 2020. That's for sure. Fucking nuts. Yeah, it's so depressing sometimes. um, what was it that I just watched last night? Oh, so last night I watched this movie that I never really. I think I saw a trailer once a while ago, but I totally forgot about it. But man, it was a really good movie. It's called Peanut Butter Falcon, I think. Um, so I highly recommend that movie to anybody. I don't really want to talk much about it, but if you really like good movies, kind of tugging at your heart type movies, it's a really sweet movie. Good fun adventure. Um, it's basically about this boy who's got Down syndrome, and and that's all I really want to say. He goes on an adventure of sorts. But it was a beautiful movie, and I really liked it a lot. Watched it last night with my 13-year-old daughter, and we were both crying. So I'm the kind of dad that definitely cries when I watch movies like that. So, oh, gotta remember to save while I work. Um, Nick Jarvis. I used to do some small work with the Weekly Standard with Phil Chalk. I also watched you just looking at your old blogspot constantly and learning. Oh, thanks, man. Um, that's really cool. I know your name, Nick Jarvis. I'm not. I'll have to look up your work again. I'm sure I'm familiar with it, but um, let's see here. I'm gonna flip this way because when I was mixing it, I was kind of mixing colors that seemed like it was like I don't know why I turned it upside down. It's weird. But what was Riley was saying? So excited for Lightbox. Yeah, Lightbox is gonna be cool. Um, so on Sunday of Lightbox, I think it's the 13th, if I remember the dates correctly. There's going to be a really cool thing where myself, Thomas Fluharty, Volter Tulp, um, Bobby Chu, a bunch of different caricature artists are going to be doing live drawing and painting all together. So we're all going to be, drawing and painting. It's like a big Zoom party basically, and that's going to be interesting. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but it'll be pretty cool. Um, we all have to like pick someone to draw or paint or something like that, I guess. Um, so actually, what I'm going to do here is I want to kind of just lay in some more color over this. Push it back a little bit. All right. Okay. So I want to kind of just push some of these values back, and then maybe pull out the light again later. But this is just the fun part, kind of blocking it in. And I don't care that I'm painting over a lot of the lines. I can still faintly see them enough. So um, there's areas like in here where there's like some nice warms that come out, but I'm gonna kind of ignore that for now because I just want to try to. I guess I like to try to put down some of the darks, and then I can just kind of pull things out of it if that makes sense. Like my painting technique digitally is kind of like I would say a mix between uh, oil painting and watercolor painting, um, where I like to build layers up. But the nice thing is with digital, I can get really dark in certain areas and then just pull the light out of it, and it's just seems like a real quick way to do it. And then you can kind of work on some of the subtle differences between the values and the color, while you're working on it. I get asked all the time about my painting techniques and color, but to be honest, I it's not something that I study a lot. Like I don't spend a lot of time studying masters, which I probably should do. Um, I just kind of always have painted by feeling. Um, Once I knew like the basics, like the basic complementary colors, that's pretty much all I really cared about or focused about when I started painting. Um, I mean, I have definitely practiced using certain palettes, um, but like right now, what I'm doing is I'm just looking at temperature and value. So I don't care if I don't get the exact same color. That's not the point. The point is the value and the temperature, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I try to focus on, and that's quite enough, I think. You know, that's a lot already. But like, there's people out there that are just experts on color theory and everything, and I'm more of like I kind of think of it as like playing the blues. Um, I feel like um, sorry, I kind of feel like I just do it, by feeling, what feels right. And I can tell something's supposed to be cooler or warmer, softer edges, that sort of a thing. But I definitely would like to learn more about color theory and that sort of a thing. But so far, it's I've been doing fine. I think. I mean, that's the reason why I like to use the Zorn palette a lot as well, because um, when it gets to too much colors, like having just a wide range of value, I feel like it gets a little overwhelming. So I like to keep the palette kind of simple, so I can just, I need something to be a little bit more green. I mix it a little bit more green. I need a little bit more pink or purple. I just mix it. So it's like the blues are like playing jazz. Like I feel like I want it to go bam 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 bam. Then I just do that. Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that's probably a weird way to put it, but that is kind of how I feel. But you know, the one thing I try to keep in mind as much as possible is that painting is painting. Just I don't. I kind of try to do the exact same thing I would do if I was painting traditionally, except traditionally I'm way slower. I take my time a lot more. So I'd like to try to add in some of these subtle reflected lights, even though I probably shouldn't worry about that at this stage, but I'm going to anyways, just to make that pop. Gotta remember to save. Hey, Munya. You said you went to the wrong page. Um, yeah, I don't know how it works. I set up a thing ahead of time, letting people know I was going to do this, um, but I don't know if I did it right. So I could have screwed that up somehow. Uh, but I'm glad you're here. See, normally I would be rocking out to some music or something. Let's see. And as I mentioned before, I'm not really going to zoom in right now, anyways. Um, I want to try to look at the whole piece at once and just block in as as much as I can. Um, and if I zoom in and start working on stuff, then I'll start detailing things that really don't need to be detailed. And so like this, I can go back under here and I kind of just want to do like a darker wash underneath this. I don't want to lose all my lines yet in the mouth, but I can kind of just suggest this pretty quick here. Some of this darker value. Like all that needs to be pushed back value wise. And like I said, I have this at 100% opacity, 100% flow. Um, I kind of do like these little washes where it's almost like watercolory, where I'm just kind of you know passing over these areas, trying to get the overall feeling temperature wise and value wise. But again, no, like if I wanted to push really hard, it would look like that, which you can definitely block in that way if you want. But I'm more interested in kind of sculpting it and bringing it together, kind of like a sculpture, like just pulling the anatomy out of it a little bit more. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm painting, man. And I'll adjust things. Like there's things on this sketch I noticed that are like not right. Like these wrinkles up here could be adjusted a lot more. Let's see. I think that's a good suggest that right there. Maybe. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? Um, so I'm not sure how many of you are fans of the podcast. Hopefully, hopefully you are. There's a lot of cool people I've been. I feel so lucky to have gotten to talk to. But this morning, I was preparing for my talk this week with Kevin Nealon. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Let's see, this kind and there's been a good handful of people that have submitted um, some jokes and some comedy that I'm going to play for Kevin. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do them all. I don't know how patient Kevin Nealon's going to be with it, or we'll have to see. But there's been a few submissions that are pretty funny. Um, so yeah, so tune in for. I'm talking with Kevin on Saturday, and then I'm hoping to have it released later Saturday, but it could also be released Sunday morning or something like that. So Kevin just had a surgery, so he's kind of recovering from that, and so kind of just working with whatever works best for him at this time. But it's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to talking with him again. Really fun guy. So one thing that I like to do, like as I'm working like this, um, You know what I'll do? I'll save a copy of my line work just in case for some reason I need it for something. I highly doubt it, but what I do like to do is after I've been painting a little bit, I want to go and just slightly erase some of my sketch lines away from underneath here. So I don't need them all. The areas that I start to block in, like kind of lighten some of this up a little bit here. Um, hey Patrick, how's it going? No problem. Remember to save. Hey Euros, he said, yo Jason, my man, you are the inspiration and reason why I started doing caricatures. Whoa, not me, man. There's a lot of. Mm, okay, well I'm gonna hold. I want to see your caricatures. Uh, anyways, I'm being silly. Let's see. And now can live out of commissions. It's not big money, but in my country, it's more than enough. That's awesome, man. Well, geez, I feel very humbled, I should say, to be honest. That's really cool, man. Um, yeah, I get a little embarrassed about that kind of stuff sometimes, but it's really a pretty cool thing when you hear those kind of things. So I really appreciate you sharing that with me. Um, that's awesome, man. Um, let's see. By the way, where are you from? I don't know if you said where you're from. I've always been into realism, got pretty good in portraits, but there is something unsatisfying about just copying. Yeah, I agree. Hey Noah, how's it going? I totally agree. Copying, just copying things gets really boring. Um, I enjoy copying things when it's like a spoof. Like I just did a Humphrey Bogart piece that's kind of caricaturing a certain scene, and that's kind of fun. I like that kind of a thing. Um, but yeah, I end up I do a lot of portraits for commission for magazines and different stuff like that, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the work, but usually I only enjoy it if I guess I should say this. I enjoy it the most when I get to um, be a little bit more creative with my brushwork and that sort of a thing. Because otherwise, you're just kind of copying the proportions and trying to get the color exactly like It just depends on the job, but I prefer like to be able to be a little bit more painterly and expressive. It's a lot more fun. I get a lot more out of it as an artist, so I definitely understand that. Ooh, this goes more like that. But yeah. So I'm kind of just at first just kind of working on this side a little bit. Um, I try to move around as much as possible, but I'm kind of just wanting to get a little bit locked in over here before I move on. Okay. So there's like these little teeny subtle like highlights that I am seeing here in the side of the nose and the eye, and I'm just taking from the background here because for one I think it'll work, but two it kind of pulls things together using the same color. They work together. There's like a harmony automatically when you do that. So I tend to do that kind of stuff a lot. That's why I like to block in some of the background first. Uh, And like I said, I'm not gonna zoom in for a while because I want to keep it work from a distance. And really, my plan is to only paint for a couple hours and to see how far I get in a couple hours. So depending on how it goes, I don't know if I will zoom in too much. But when I do zoom in, it's going to be to start to define things, get them a little bit more tighter. But at this stage, I'm more just, how does it look from a distance? That's kind of more what I'm thinking about. Like if it looks good, at this size, it's going to look good. You know, it's not really meant to zoom in. I don't like the way this is looking blocky. Let's get that filled in more. All right. Hold on a second. I'm going to tell my daughters to quiet it down a little bit. They're driving me nuts. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but they know I'm recording, and every 5 seconds they're just like, it's driving me nuts. Okay. Hopefully that will maintain their noises, or contain, I should say. Serbia. Awesome. Well, welcome from Serbia. Kevin Nealon. What's up, Kevin? I was just talking about how it's going to be so much fun talking with you this weekend. Hope your shoulder's feeling better, Kev. Noah, do you ever find yourself faking the expressions you draw? Do you ever find yourself self-faking the expressions you draw? I'm not sure if I understand your question exactly. Um, yeah, that's the Kevin Nealon. He's awesome. Hey, Jace, gotta head out. What a privilege to watch and learn. Thanks, Nick. I really appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. And by the way, I'm gonna be talking with Kevin. Like I said, this weekend, it's gonna be so cool. But if anyone hasn't already started following, you should. But Kevin's been doing some kick-ass stuff lately. He's got an Instagram that is, I think it's just Kevin Nealon Art. It's not going to be hard to find. You can find it pretty easy on Instagram. Um, but he has been posting a lot of really cool caricatures. The last one he did of Tilda Swinton is just awesome, really cool. So we're going to talk about that kind of stuff on Saturday. So, like I said, I'm kind of just working on this side of the face, just kind of building things up right now, and just kind of keeping it simple. Nolan said, or Noah said, making. Make. Do I? Oh, I see what you're saying. You're asking if I sometimes make the face of the person. I don't know. I can't really see myself while I paint. Uh, but I see what you're saying. I mean, maybe I do. There's been times where I've done impressions, like certain people I'll kind of do their voice or that sort of a thing. And I don't know. You know, one thing I do is a lot of times when I have to paint someone, like if I was doing this for like a magazine or something, and I wasn't live recording, um, I might listen to some Kanye music just to you know get in the mood or whatever. I don't know. I've done that before, like with their certain jobs. Like I'll listen to the musician I'm painting, or maybe if it's an actor, I'll listen to an interview with them or something. It just kind of makes it fun, while you're working. But um, anyway. Uh, oh, hey Kevin, looking forward to it too, man. It's gonna be awesome. I have some fun ideas still. I want to run by you, but uh, love that you create a palette of color instead of dipping into the. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Sometimes I use like an actual palette, like a Zorn palette or something like that. This one I kind of just was looking at the colors I was seeing and trying to give myself a variation, and then from there I'm just kind of painting by feeling. Excuse me. Um, looking for warmer or cooler temperatures, and again, I'm not going to zoom in. So I'm trying to just look at the whole and try to focus on, kind of like the structure and the temperature and all that stuff at the same time, but not getting too complicated. Like I'm not, pre-mixing everything, just trying to get the overall feeling, if that makes sense. It is a little bit hard while painting or talking while painting, because I kind of forget where I was about to go. But normally when I'm painting, I'm kind of it's like a mission. Like I have an idea of where I want to jump next. But how's it going, Willem? Um, okay, cool. But there was something I was gonna say about something here, and now must not have been that important. Oop. And Kevin, if you're still listening, I keep looking over here because that's where the words are. But if you're still listening, we're gonna have to talk about the joke submissions, how many we wanted to do or whatever. Um, there's some funny, there's some weird ones. Let's put it that way. Um, it'll be fun. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do it. So, all right. I'm starting to like it already. It's starting to come together. Let's see. Wired jokes. Maybe you meant weird jokes, but yeah, they're weird, dude. It's gonna be strange. There's some that uh, I don't know, man. I like it though. It's fun. I'm excited about it because I think it'll be entertaining for people to see your reaction to it and that sort of a thing. It'll be cool. All right, so um, I want to block in more of the values here. I try to. I feel like I want that to be a little bit more pinky. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. I want to try to get that blocked in on this side a little bit more to balance this out so I can go back and forth between the values and the color here and back and forth there. So I remember back to what Noah was asking me before. Um, oh, sorry, real quick. Hi, Jason. I really like your style. Um, do you only use single brush? For this one, first of all, thank you. I appreciate that. For this one, I'm just using a standard Photoshop brush. This is brush number 24. This is what it looks like when I make it bigger. Can you see that? Um, it's I decided to do that instead of use some kind of fancy brush. I like Kyle Webster's brushes quite a bit. They have, there's a lot of really cool like canvasy type brushes, gouache brushes. So I play with those a lot, but I figured not everybody has the same ones, and so I just thought it would be kind of cool to just use a basic. And basically, this is not much different than the round brush that comes with Photoshop, but it has, like a more of a brushy tooth to it. So I just kind of like the feeling that it has, and I try to keep it painterly, and like painterly type sculpting strokes, if that makes sense. So this brush tends to really work well with that. And also, you can see that my opacity and my flow are at 100%. So if I want to, I can go really hard like that. Whereas when I'm in control, it's very light and soft like that. So um, it's all about the pressure. It depends on what you're using, I guess, too, because I know not everybody works on a Cintiq, so things might be different on a tablet or how you have your settings. But I try to use it more with and the pressure, I guess, in a way where it's easier for me to basically paint the whole thing with one brush if I want, and just by pushing down, getting harder with it or softer with it. So I try to keep it real simple, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say, anyways. And, and I might like switch over to a different brush here and there. Like I don't know how far I'm gonna go on this one. Um, this might just be a block in. We'll see how it goes. But sorry, I want to make that more of a. Sorry, I want to just make this a little bit more pinky in there. What was I saying? Oh, I might switch to another brush eventually, like maybe like a soft airbrush to do like some of the soft hairs, and maybe if I zoom in to work on some soft areas in the mouth or whatever. But mostly, um, mostly I can use this one brush. Sorry, I'm trying to paint. All right. Got to remember to save every once in a while. Save and then drink a glass of water or a sip of water. How do you decide what to exaggerate when you draw a pretty person? Whatever's there, you know, offering itself to me. That sounded weird. That did that I did not mean it to sound creepy. Um, I don't really, to be honest, like I don't really look at a person and think, oh, they're so pretty. What I look at every person the exact same way. It doesn't matter what race they are, what uh, gender they are. It doesn't really matter. Um, I think. sometimes, you know, if someone's face feels very symmetric, there's still something to, basically make a statement about. So, like, if someone's face is super symmetric, you can exaggerate that and make it really symmetric, and that can be kind of interesting. So, I don't know. To me, it's all about like really just studying the person's face and their features, and I don't, like I said, I don't really worry about um, if they're pretty or not. I don't know if that makes any sense. Some people are just harder, and I usually find if someone's a little bit harder to draw, it could be because um, you're using a terrible reference. That could be what it is. In fact, a lot of times that is what it is. So it's really important to have good reference. I liked this picture of Kanye because the expression was really interesting, and I just love his mouth in it and his cheeks. A lot of fun. So, are you a fan of flipping your paintings horizontally, or you as you go ahead with your process? Yeah, I do that sometimes. Sometimes I flip it. Sometimes I'll flip it upside down. It really depends on. Um, I mean, it just depends. Like, I don't do it all the time. But yeah, I do that. What's up, Jason? Hey, how's it going, Torin? How's it going, bud? But yeah, I think that flipping upside down is helpful. Um, I found that when painting in grayscale, like just doing like a value painting, flipping upside down is really helpful for. Um, sorry, hold on. But flipping it upside down is really helpful for um, noticing when something's off with the values. It's I don't know. There's something about flipping it upside down where things just seem to like pop out a little bit more and stand out like a sore thumb. Let's see. Uh oh. Oh, sorry. I was hearing some weird noise outside. It made me think we're gonna start hearing some weird, like, lawnmower or something. Hopefully not. That'd be annoying. So it's been really difficult lately. I've been trying to record these tutorials that I'm gonna have available soon, and it's been really difficult because I can't get any quiet in my house. Right now, it seems really quiet for the most part. My teenage daughters are upstairs, um, but I got almost a 3-year old and then a 2-month old, and man, trying to get like like for when I'm doing my tutorials, I want it to be like really nice and professional, and every single time I go to record, it's just screaming and stuff. It's crazy. So it's been taking so much longer, but hopefully I can finish it soon. But I hope you guys will enjoy it. I've been trying to make it something that's different maybe than a usual tutorial, and something that's fun as well. So let's see. So plug this in. Hmm. Hey Jason, how have you? Oh, how have you been? Great. Thanks for asking. How have you been? You always first sketch in detail with values and then paint over. Is it good to practice painting in color directly? Um, hey, thanks, Edgar. Um, all ambient sound is okay. Yeah, I don't know, Juan. I don't know if people want to hear my 2-year-old screaming while I'm trying to paint. I don't know. But to your question, have you? Do you always first sketch in detail with values and then paint over? Um, Sometimes I do a really, really loose. Like for example, the Humphrey Bogart piece that the tutorial that's coming out soon. That one, the sketch before I start painting is pretty um, loose. Not much information put down before I started painting. With this one, I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I didn't know. I was just testing out live stream, and so I was just trying. I've never done the live stream before on YouTube, so I decided, oh, I'll just do a sketch of Kanye. It'd be kind of fun. And then people seem to enjoy it. Then I thought, well, I need some more practice before my thing coming up, so maybe I'll do another live stream. And that's what I'm doing now. And I figured I'd just paint this because, why not? I already started it. So it just really depends. To be honest, I don't really have like one way that I like to work. I kind of, I'm kind of all over the place. Sorry. Sorry, I'm kind of just thinking and looking at this real quick. But yeah, I sometimes I'll do you know a completely different one day and then do something completely different the next day. There's not like I hardly ever do anything exactly the same. I'm not sure if that answers the question or not, but so I gotta push this back more too. Edgar is saying this whole thing is done in Photoshop. Do you have a custom set of brushes? This is Photoshop. Hey Scott, this is Photoshop. This is right now. I'm just using a basic brush. Um, that comes with Photoshop. I do have brushes that I like a lot that I use. A lot of brushes that Kyle Webster has made. But I didn't want to use those for this because I just figured that for this, I would just use a brush that most people would be able to have in Photoshop. So, sorry, it, sometimes it's a little bit hard to talk and paint at the same time, but I try my best. Um, but this is brush 24, by the way. Thanks, Juan. Hey, what's up, Court? How's it going, man? So the coat's not really that important right now at this phase. I'm just kind of blocking it in because, or just next to the neck here. Again, it's about values, so I'm trying to compare my values to, back and forth between different areas, and so it kind of helps to not stay in one area for too long. And I felt like I could get a little bit darker over there, so that's kind of what I'm doing with this whole thing as well. Also, I don't want to copy the photo exactly. I know some of the area is a little bit too dark, and so I just want to, get some of that blocked in so it kind of starts shaping things out a little bit more. It's really easy to like get carried away and spend way too much time on one area, and that's something that I'm always trying to not do. I'm always trying to move around a little bit while I work. I want it to kind of develop all together. Okay. Okay. And I gotta remember to save. All right. Hey, Kevin, when you are finished with a painting, do you mess with the filters, like change the saturation for richer colors? That's a good question. Um, Not really, no. Um, I know what you're talking about. I've done, there's certain things I've done though where, let's say I do the whole painting and I feel like maybe I want a little bit more of like a warmer atmosphere or something, but I've already basically done the whole painting. So I might experiment a little bit, and usually what I'll do is I'll go to like create a new layer. Um, I'll just do it. I'll show you right now what I do. So excuse me. Let's say I want like a whole warmer feeling for this painting. You can create a new layer and switch it to like overlay, maybe to soft light or something like that. But I'm gonna do overlay for now. I'm gonna choose like a kind of a warmy orangish color, and then just fill in that layer. Now that's way too much, but what you can do is you can take this layer down and kind of, just test it and see how it looks. Now, it takes away a lot of the stuff that I was working on, like the cool edges and different things like that. But it also gives it a different feeling that maybe might work for the particular piece that you're working on. So, and you can try that with different things. Like there's like soft light. You can see how it looks between the two. So, there's different techniques. Like this kind of looks cool too. Like maybe I decide for the final. Oh, I like this really. It kind of takes away all the dark, really dark values. So that might kind of be a cool thing to do as well. Um, so yeah, I might experiment like that, um, just to see how something might look. But uh, why is my layer not going away? Anyways, but so that's something that you can do. I think that it is it's an option to do what you were saying. To like just take it and brighten it, and um, I mean it's. I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I'm always like trying to just do it myself as much as possible because I'm always just trying to push myself as a painter. Um, because I don't just work digitally. I'm trying to like have my own fingerprint and thumbprint on it while I'm painting. Um, but there's nothing wrong with doing that kind of a thing. I don't think so, anyways. Let's see. Brush 24 sounds like a. Wait, where did I? Oh, right there. Sounds like a name of a nightclub in New York. Kind of does. Hey man, you gonna go to Brush 24? I guess. Man, gonna make me feel sad. There's nowhere to go. Can't go to Brush 24 right now. Gonna bring this whole thing down to the darkness. Um, Edgar said, "Do you like Procreate? How much different is it to Photoshop?" I do like Procreate, and it's very different. And the painting tutorial that I'm gonna have available soon with Humphrey Bogart was done in Procreate, and it's the first demo I've ever done on Procreate. So I think that's gonna be kind of cool. Um, I like it for different reasons. I paint slower. Hey Edgar. So well, I'll just finish saying what I was gonna say, even though you got to take off. But um, I paint slower with Procreate. Um, I think that I'm just not quite used to it as much as I am with Photoshop. But I like it. I like the way it works. I like the way the brushes handle. I like the feeling of um, I basically like the control it has. It's got really nice control, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's different. It's definitely different. I mean, especially if you're just used to painting in Photoshop for years, like I am. It's it's different. Different isn't bad though. I really wasn't into trying to paint with Procreate much. I for a year or so I just did sketches with it, and I had a lot of fun just kind of playing with it. And then I started seeing my friend Sean Cheatham doing these really cool paintings on it, and my friend Grieger was doing these really cool paintings on it, and that's why I was like, I want to try doing more paintings. Just try it. To do more than a sketch with it. Um, I haven't done anything for I haven't done like a commission with Procreate yet, but I imagine one of these days I will. I've done private commissions. That's not true. I've actually done some private commissions. Um, so, do you ever mess around with Adobe Fresco? I have messed with Fresco a little bit, but to be honest, not very much. I haven't. I played with it a little bit, um, and I liked it. I just didn't. I just haven't done as much with it. I think I don't even know why, to be honest. Actually, I was doing a commission for a movie poster a while ago, and I was drawing all of it in Fresco. I really like the way the pencil tool works. It's really nice. It's got a really it feels like real pencil. It's pretty cool. But then I discovered the peppermint brush that comes with Procreate. I really like the peppermint brush. It's got a very it feels like a real pencil. Like it's really nice to sketch with. I really enjoyed doodling with that. Um, but yeah, I play with Fresco every once in a while. It's cool. I dig it. Um, Kanye's looking cool. What's cool is I can kind of look on the other screen where the questions are here, and I can see my Kanye smaller, so I can see things that I need to fix. Like this is too harsh. This is too harsh here. I need to soften this. Do you have any tips for not getting too tight with digital painting? Yes, Peter. What I'm doing right now is I am not zooming in. I'm painting from a distance, and that's how you kind of paint when you paint with oils or traditional. You kind of paint with larger brushes first, and then you slowly start to get smaller brushes, and then kind of come in. So the first part of it, I do not want to do any details at all. I want to keep it as you know, I want to paint from a distance as much as possible. Also, I kind of try to make the whole piece come together at once. So I start trying to, basically block in all over. Like I was just over here and now I'm on the ear. Really, just not staying in one spot the whole time, moving around, developing. Um, and I think when you start zooming in, to, especially early on, you start getting too tight, and I guess in a way it wastes time, but also it's easier to get distracted. I think so I try to avoid that as much as possible. So I try not to zoom in very much. That's a very important thing I think at first. Save it. Thank you. That's funny. Procreate is great, really capable of heavy illustrations. Yeah, I'm starting to see that. I just haven't done too much with it yet, except for this demo that I'm going to have available really soon. I'm trying to have two of them finished right away, actually. Do you like the fact that you have a final physical product when you paint in oils? Yeah, of course I do. Um, so I still do traditional paintings and yeah, I love that. Of course. Um, I don't really care as much when it comes to like editorial work. Like it's fine that I don't have like an original. Like a lot of people think like, oh, but you could sell it. It's like, eh. I do a lot of political things and or just like I don't know. Like I don't think people want a political painting. You know what I mean? Or so I do a lot of weird portraits of people that no one's even heard of before. So I don't know. But I do see what people are talking about when they say that. Sorry, I get distracted while I'm painting here. I'm trying to focus on this part, but yeah, I do. It's cool when you have like original painting, and it's cool when someone can come up and when they visit the studio or something, they can see like an original painting, and I like looking at them as well. Let's see. I see some amazing canvases behind you. Um, Any plans to do a demo? Traditional medium, you have got a really good eye for detail and pigments. So thank you for that. Yes, I am planning on doing some traditional demo type things, but I don't really have I don't really have very good cameras for this. Um, I got a GoPro this last year, and I thought that would be great for it, but it's not. It doesn't last very long, the battery, and I need a different lens because it's got a fisheye lens, and so I have some homework before I can figure out how to do a really good live demo type thing, or not live, but traditional. So I definitely plan on doing that. That'd be kind of cool. Um, in fact, I was working on an oil of Bobby Lee, and I was planning on filming that because I thought it would be kind of a cool one but then the camera wasn't working, so kind of frustrated me, and I put it aside until I can figure it out. But I do plan on doing that. And JP Parks said, "Will you ever get Sebastian Kruger on the show?" I hope so. I have reached out to his manager. I know Sebastian. We've hung out a few times, so we are friendly acquaintances, and we've had some really good talks in the past. And I know that his manager said that he's interested in it, and I was supposed to have him on the podcast in June, and then it got switched to July, and now I haven't heard back from his manager. So it is a little bit tricky because um, Sebastian likes to have his manager do everything. Not everything. I mean, likes to have his manager do like all the talking and all that stuff, which is it's a good manager. Nothing wrong with that. But it's hard because I don't really get to get an answer quickly. It seems like it takes forever. So, but yeah, I have been in talks with them, and Sebastian is interested in doing it. So that'll be cool when it happens. So hopefully it will happen sometime soon. Um, yeah, and it'd be fun to talk with him because like many of you probably, I've been a fan of his work since I've been a fan of since I was a teenager, basically, and he was like a really huge inspiration when I first started. And so it'd be cool, and I think his portrait paintings are just awesome. So I have a lot of questions and that, so it would be really cool. So one of these days, but there's tons and tons of awesome artists that I have coming up that are going to be really cool. I have a really awesome female comic that I'm a huge fan of. Um, she is one of the bigger comics in New York. Her name is Jessie Curson, and she is friggin' hilarious. I really, really love her comedy, but she's going to be coming up in a couple weeks, so I'm very excited about that. Um, as far as talking about the art of comedy, so that's going to be kind of cool. Um, and she's got a new special soon, I think, or I don't know exactly what's going on with it, but Bill Burr is producing it, I think. So that'll be cool. And a while ago I had sorry, I'm thinking it again here. Philip Burke was supposed to be a guest, and that's still happening, but he got busy with some deadlines, and he's also an artist that was a huge inspiration of mine when I was 15 or so. Was when I first started really following his work, and so he's going to be on the podcast as well. That's going to be cool. So um, sorry, it's getting to the point where sometimes it's hard for me to talk. So I gotta uses a lot of brain power. This whole painting thing. Oh, all right. So there was. Let's see. Uh, do you still have your Saddam Hussein character? Such a great one, captured his defiant act. Actually, a friend of mine um, has that painting. Oh, it's an oil painting I did of Saddam Hussein, and it's funny because I gave it to him as a gift. He really liked the painting. He's not a fan of Saddam Hussein, but he just really loves the oil painting, and he has it hanging in his kitchen. And it's really funny because so people come over to his house and they're like, "Is that Saddam Hussein?" Like he's just like all creepy looking. But my friend has it hanging proudly in his kitchen. It's kind of funny. Would you say makes sense? When you're a character, someone, what interests you to work more, the psychological side or the physical side? I am not sure, George. It Sometimes both, actually. That's a good question, by the way. Um, and I don't know if you're referring to just because Kanye's kind of been an interesting figure lately that way. But that's not why I chose to draw Kanye, by the way. Um, I just was trying to think of a fun face to draw and paint, and I figured, oh, he's got a great face, great expression. But yeah, that's a good question. Um, I want to warm this up a little bit. So, um, gotta run, Peter Meekins. We'll check the whole thing later. Thanks for sharing. No problem, man. What did I miss? A lot, it seems. Torin, when is Myron Wayne's coming back? When is Marlon Wayne's coming back? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Oh, jeez, that was a funny thing. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want that trouble. Now he's nice. He's a nice guy. Just a little strange, but aren't we all a little strange? Um, but that's funny. Uh, so I feel like I get a little distracted, so I forget where I am on this painting sometimes. But it's okay. This is all. Sometimes I forget that This is supposed to just be fun, and I'm supposed to be, chatting with everybody. I get a little bit intense, because I'm not really I'm not really doing this like this is a tutorial or anything. It's just I'm just painting, and you guys are hanging out, and that's cool. I appreciate that. Um, but I am kind of getting all over the place here. There's like this real kind of cool, kind of reflected lights on his lips there. So I'm going to select some of this background there and just see how that looks when I put that down. Just for now. And I like that. But again, like I'm not going to zoom in on this right now. Just going to kind of block it in a little bit. Some of that nice, it's like a cool kind of greenish gray kind of tones there in that lip. It's like a pinky here. I'm going to try to put some of that pink in there. What kind of brush or technique did you use for painting Schitt's Creek? Um, so for Schitt's Creek, I used, what did I use for that? Um, Trying to think of the name of that brush. I think, let me look real quick. Mm, it's a Kyle brush. Oh, it's called Munch Medium Flat or Filbert. Those are brushes that I got from him years ago. Um, it's got like a nice canvas texture to it. I really like that a lot. And so I use that. Mostly I use that brush, I think, for the Schitt's Creek stuff. And then I did like an impasto effect where I painted and some other brushes that Kyle made that are like impasto like, and it's kind of a complicated thing, and it's a little bit tricky to try to explain. But basically, I have to paint on top of everything. I'm gonna cool this down a little bit more. But I have to paint on top of everything and create like this Im- impasto texture. And I did that on a couple paintings for certain effects. I don't do it all the time. It has a time and a place. I think. Otherwise, it gets a little bit cheesy. It's got to be done. It's got to be for the right thing. I think. But for that, it was perfect. And let's do a little bit. Okay, there was. Am I the only normal person I know? Riley, are you normal? I don't know if you're normal. Um, that's a pretty bold thing to say, especially with a bunch of artists. 'Cause I don't think there's a such thing as normal. See, I want to see. I might need to put this beard up a little bit more like that. It needs to come up more like that, maybe. Um, do you have to worry about copyright when making a character of a public photo, or is it enough change to be considered fair use? Hokey. It depends. Like this, I'm not making any money off of this. I'm not selling prints of, or I'm not. I mean, I don't think prints is a big deal actually, because it's caricature. You're kind of creating your own image in a way, but it really depends on the circumstance. I mean, like like Mad Magazine and stuff like that. You're doing parodies. You're doing spoofs. There's a certain amount you can get away with that. It just really depends. But I'm not like making a Kanye calendar and you know doing some weird thing like that. So I mean, it really does depends. But it is kind of a gray area. Like I've seen people get in trouble before for certain things, and personally, I haven't really done anything weird, so I'm not really too worried about it. But usually, I get permission from publications to use certain references, so I can kind of work from those references, and it's not an issue. But like I said, it's kind of a gray area. Like it's not something that I mean, I don't know. It really does depend on the situation, I think. But yeah, most of the time, like when I work for publications, I am working with reference that I have the okay to use, so it's not even a big deal. But I mean, you can, as far as I know, you can draw and paint anyone you like, as long as you're just drawing and painting them. You know, gotta remember to save. Uh, Hola from Argentina. Hope to hear some more impersonations during this broadcast. Well, Scott. Oh, I am the epitome of normal, except when I'm not. That's nice. More impressions. I don't know what impressions, man. I was working on some writing today, some comedy, um, some stand up. I'm hoping to be able to do stand up again one of these days. So I write down ideas. Today I started writing about dolphins that rape. I know it sounds weird, but I got a funny direction with it. So I'm hoping to take it to the place I want to and get the reaction I want, so that I can. It's like a I've been. It's like a setup for another bit, basically, raping dolphins, um, and masturbating dolphins. It's true though; they exist. Apparently, dolphins masturbate quite frequently, and you may wonder how they do that since they have short little flippers. But I assure you, they definitely do. Talk between Jason and Trump. I don't think people. I think people are getting tired of Trump. Like I get tired whenever I do Trump. Oh, do you? Do you now? You get tired? Try being me. Try being me for 2 seconds. Yeah, but I think people are so tired of it. I can kind of do Obama a little bit. Look. Uh, I'm working on a painting. No, that's not good. That's not good. I always think of Obama like he always says look. So he's like, look, what we want to do is we want to make sure that everyone's doing okay. Right, Michelle? Is Michelle looking? Okay. Do a little smoking ad for him. I don't know. I like doing like politicians and stuff. Like I definitely would not consider myself an oppression person though. Some it just depends, I guess. You know, it's fun though. I do tend to do impressions a lot when I draw, but it's not like I'm not trying to like really, like sometimes I could see myself if I was painting Kanye like this, I could definitely see myself being like what's that thing he does all the time where he goes yay. He says yay. I'll like Kanye, but ha stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, we're all weird though as artists. We do like I'm sure a lot of you guys do the same kind of stuff. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's a weirdo. All right, I don't like the way that is looking up there. So I was trying to actually to do Bill Clinton impersonation the other day, just because I thought it was funny that he was speaking, uh, uh, or the way that he was speaking, I should say, not that he was speaking. Um, but he kind of talks like I can't do it right now. See, I can't do it like on the spot. I gotta practice it. But but I like Bill Clinton's voice. It's pretty funny. Um, I did not have sexual relations. That's not right either. There's some people like so. There's this one guy that I had on my podcast like maybe a year ago. You should check him out. His name is JD Witherspoon, and he does great impersonations. It's pretty freaking awesome. So if you want some good impersonations, you should check out that. He's pretty good. He does some that are just super spot on. I can do Owen Wilson. Wow, wow. That's about it. All right, so I'm getting too caught up in that one area. I want to stop on that area for now. But let's see. Yeah, dolphins rape. Uh, Riley, they do. I read it on the internet, so it's true. All right, trust me. They do actually. They're sick, and dolphins are. They also um, are one of the only animal species besides humans that have sex just for pleasure. That's there's a bit in there as well, but it's true. Dolphins are, and you know what? And they do it all while having that creepy smile on their face. It's really creepy. Next time you see a dolphin, think of me. Reason I mentioned Kruger, I noticed you do awesome portraits as well. Also, Kruger just did the caricature of Amy Winehouse on Facebook. It's sweet. Yeah, his Amy Winehouse is pretty awesome. I saw that. Um, he needs some gills and some fish sticks. Um, I don't know what that means, Brandon, but nice to talk to you. Give Godfather. Oh, I could try to do that. Let's see. Gotta get in the mood. Eh. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, and you're asking me for a favor. That's so stupid. You come to me and you're asking for a favor on the day of my daughter's wedding. No, 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 no. Everyone in the world, that's anyone that's a fan of his right now is like, no, that's the worst. That almost sounded like Bill Clinton. No, no. Yeah, I do definitely do not consider myself someone that is good at impersonations, impressions. Some people though, some people are easier than others for sure. Wow, wow. No, now I'm trying to think of different ones. Uh, let's see. I can kind of do a Bernie Sanders a little bit, where he's like, he always talks about numbers and percentages, so I always like go 1%, 2%, 100 people, 100 of the times percentage, whatever. So anyway, I'm still adding like some cools up in this biatch up here, and that sort of a thing. I took from the background. I'm actually going to go back to my. So here's my painting without my sketch lines. It's kind of cool to see. Um, but I'm going to erase some of the pencil up here because it's annoying me. Okay. And I'm kind of all over the place. I want to work on the eye area just a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, I'll never look at dolphins the same. Oh, what's the Brandon? What's the South Park Kanye West joke? Is it like it's? Oh, I do remember something like that. Now that you said that, something with fish sticks. Like, do you like fish sticks? I kind of remember that now that you bring that up. That's funny. Um, it's yeah, I get it now. That show is hilarious. Uh, that I don't like this area. It's too muddy. Um, this is too muddy. That Brando was pretty good. You ever hear Master P do Brando? No, I haven't heard that. I that would be. I'd like. I'll have to check that out. Do you like do you like fish sticks? Yes, I guess that makes you guys you a gay fish. Okay. Do you use the liquify tool to move things around to get a better likeness? No, no. That is not something that I do. I do not like that. Now, I will say this though, that sometimes like I might realize that an eye is a little bit misplaced or something like that. Like it could move over. I might select that and move it over, and then you know continue to paint and like fix up the spots where you can tell I moved it. I might do that. Um, but I'm not interested, nor do I support photo manipulation. I think that it's not really. I don't know. I don't like it. It's not my thing. Let's see. But I do. There is times where, you if you're trying to hurry, um, you know, and you need like you realize again like a nostril looks weird or whatever, and you can. I don't mind like if it's something you've already painted and you spend all this time detailing it, and then you realize, oh man, I actually it should actually go over just a little bit. Like that kind of a thing is not like that big of a deal to just move it over and then fix it. But usually I try to not manipulate anything. Or I shouldn't say usually. I don't manipulate things. It's not. I don't really agree with that. Um, just draw it. I've seen some people also like will sketch a little bit, and then they'll take a sketch and kind of pull it and different like maybe widen the sketch just to see how that looks. I mean that's I guess you're kind of experimenting that way, if it's working, and um, I guess it just depends. I'm personally not a fan of it, so I there's a lot on this nose that I'd want to kind of slow down a little bit and get some of this a little bit more accurate. But let's see. All right, so let's see. Thank you for reminding me to save again. Are you zooming up on your tablet to paint the details, or keeping it at this resolution? I've kept it at this the entire time so far, um, and that's because I don't want to worry too much on details. I'll when I'm near the end of this, which I'm not going to go too much further because I got some things I got to do. But I'll zoom in near the end so you can kind of see. I want to kind of let's see. I want to kind of block in some more of this stuff before I get too far with other stuff. So there's like a lot of facial hair that's like this looks like thicker in the shadow, and it's like way thinner over here. And so I'm not gonna like for now. I'll just kind of suggest that just by like squint my eyes. Excuse me. I'm gonna squint my eyes and just look at the shape of the value here. So, you know, I could go in there and do all the little hairs, but like I said, right now I'm kind of more doing like keeping it as painterly as I can, and I just want to suggest it for now. Value, by the value. Thanks, Pocket 280 Broken. Appreciate that. Okay. So like this is basically like kind of like a block in stage, and I'm not even 100% sure I'm happy with I want to see something real quick. Well, basically what I'm going to say is there's a lot more that can be done detail wise on this, and I'm not really getting to that point yet in the painting. Sorry. What was I going to say? Um, like, I'm sure if I zoom in, it's going to appear a lot looser than what it looks like at this distance. Um, and that's fine. But right now, it's all about just kind of getting things blocked in, which I think it's coming along pretty cool. It's got a good feel. But then, if I were to take it to the next level where I do want to zoom in, that's where, that's where this would start to take a long time. Like, I've been painting on this for like an hour and a half, or almost 2 hours now. Um, and I haven't really gotten done any detail. I mean, I've been talking a lot, but um, this is basically what the first stages are. I tend to like try to block in from a distance like this, and this actually, sorry, I want to push this all back too. So there's a lot of details that can continue to be worked on as you zoom in after this stage. But as I said before, I'm not really trying to focus on that at this point. I'm just trying to get it blocked in, and those kind of details will come later. There's like this. I like this violet kind of feel that's in here too. I was trying to think of something, but again, it's hard to talk and paint at the same time. Um, let's see. Oh, I remember what I was gonna do. Let me save this first. Uh, I don't think it's hard to believe that Kanye is a millionaire. Um, I mean, he's written some pretty big hit songs, so I'm just gonna try something because this is kind of bothering me a little bit, and I don't want to mess up the whole thing, and I don't want to set myself back. I guess is what I should say. But this has been bothering me, so I just want to play with it real quick. So I definitely want to work on that structure a little bit more and soften that. But so there's a you know a little bit that I want to play with in that side of the face that I would kind of work on the structure a little bit, but for now it's okay. Okay, let's see. See, Torn coming in with the facts. Kanye is not a billionaire. A lot of it's that Kardashian money. It's that booty money. Hmm. If you didn't take this photo, do you have? If you didn't take this photo, do you have to pay royalties if using this photo as a reference? I don't think so. Um, I don't know. To be honest, like I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people can be crazy and um, about certain things like that, but I mean, usually with caricature, it's changed enough, and I usually use a lot more than just one reference. So it really just depends, but I'm not really an expert on that. Um, so I'm not 100% sure. Um, let's see. So late to the party. It's crazy how much you've done in 2 hours. Oh, thanks, man. How's it going, TJ? Um, I actually feel like I've been painting really slow, to be honest, because a lot of talking and stuff like that. But thanks, appreciate that. Like I said, I'm probably gonna wrap things up in a little bit as I gotta do some other things. But um, really appreciate everybody hanging out and always appreciate the support for sure. I appreciates the supports for shizzles. Um, I wanted to do something. Oh yeah, this is not right either. I didn't get much. See, I'm kind of hopping over. The mouth and the nose need a little bit more work, and also can't forget the neck area. Gonna block in a little bit of that. I mean, for a block in, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, it's more than a block in. I've started to kind of develop it, quite a bit, but there's still a lot more that can be done, of course. But I feel pretty good about the direction it's gone. Um, let's see. There's a lot of like kind of bluish gray tints with the facial hair, which I would kind of go over a little bit later, maybe to bring that out more. But so far, it's coming together. enjoy watching your process. I learned a lot. Thanks. Thanks, Stefan. Appreciate that, man. Torin, and by the way, if any people should check out Stefan. He's an awesome artist, photographer, painter. So definitely check him out. And Torin's an amazing artist. TJ is an awesome artist. I know a bunch of you guys. You guys do awesome work. Um, Vast majority of the time, character changes the reference enough that the final product is seen as transformed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That's about right. Like for example, if I was using this reference of Kanye for an illustration that I had to do for a publication or something like that, most likely the publication is going to have me paint him, doing something like maybe, and he's probably going to be wearing different clothing and in a different position. So, but for this is just a study. But if I was doing this for something more, you know, like a publication or something, I would definitely be changing it a lot more than this. Uh, let's see. Let's do this. So again, there's a lot more work that can be and time that can be spent on the mouth and that sort of thing. Like I said, I haven't really zoomed in there much. Um, so for now, I'm just going to suggest a few things here and there. This can be a little bit brighter. I don't need that layer anymore. Put that down. So right now I'm just kind of just adding a couple like highlight type suggestions right now. Just I don't want to get too bright with it yet. I kind of try to like to build up my lights a little bit as I work, but let me actually show his teeth a little bit lighter down here. All right. Well, let me see this. So there's more. Obviously this isn't the final piece, but I feel pretty good about this for the time being. Um, I definitely I wanna do more. Let's see. I wanna do more of a pinky. Let's see. Push that shape, but add a little bit more pinky in there. A little pink action. There's definitely more to do. You know, if I was going to take this to a final, I'd want to spend a little bit more time refining things. Like that area there, I want like a more warm like value. But anyways, but I think I'm gonna call it for now, and then just before I finish, if you guys want to chat just a minute more before I leave, I could do that. But again, thank you all for hanging out, for watching. Um, this whole thing, like doing the live stream, is a new thing that I hope to do a lot more of. Um, so I appreciate stopping by, hanging out, and I'm gonna do like a kind of blue color. I'm gonna create a new layer just to test this out, and I'm gonna use the same exact brush. I'm not gonna switch my brush, but I'm just gonna do a few kind of suggestions here in the shadows just to show some hairs. But yeah, a lot of this can be worked on more, a lot more um, time spent detailing this, but that would be a lot more hours. So what I'll do here is make a couple of these a little bit brighter. Take the blur tool and kind of just like soften that a little bit, and then take the eraser tool and just kind of push some of those back. And for now, that's enough of an illusion of facial hair. Um, it works for now. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and well, before we go, before I end this, how about I just show real quick the line work. So that was basically the line work. Background. I did the underpainting, like a tonal thing underneath everything. Then started painting on top. So if I turn these layers off, that's what you're gonna see this. So that's what I painted on top of everything. Let me zoom in more. You can see this. Um, and there you go. And I'm gonna flatten that one layer. So there you go. Hope everybody enjoyed that Kanye painting. I'm gonna save it, and I'll just leave it open like this for now. But yeah, definitely can spend more time refining everything. And if I zoom in, you can see how loose it actually is. So the next step would be, if I wanted to refine this more, would be to zoom in and start to define and detail the features. For example, I would zoom in, look at the eye here, and the next phase would be coming in and defining some of this a little bit more, like going over the eye, this eyelid, and start, this needs to be a lot darker. So this would be the next phase, is coming in and just taking my time and really kind of, like this, like making the eyes a lot darker in here as well. But this is basically the next phase, and would for sure take, I can easily spend like an hour or so just on the eyes. Um, no problem. So this is where you can get just lost for hours in all of this. So, but anyways, for now, I'm gonna keep it as is, and hopefully, see, basically, if I don't stop now, I'll start painting for like I'll paint for like 10 more hours on this. But anyways, so cool. But I will stop now. Otherwise, like I said, I will never stop. So anyways, let's see. So I'm gonna answer some of these questions. JP Parks, do you ever listen to music when you paint? I know it's frowned upon when doing animation. I have no idea about anything having to do with animation, but I usually listen to music or podcasts. I like a lot of comedy podcasts. Like I love listening to Joe Rogan. I listen to Your Mom's House. I listen to Tiger Belly. I listen to Bad Friends. I listen to Mark Marin. Um, Kevin Nealon has a web series that's fun to listen to. I like to listen to that. Hiking with Kevin. He does really funny interviews with people, and you get to hear people walking around the whole time. And then I have an Alexa. She just turned on, and I listen to music with that. That's pretty nice. Also have a record player. I like to listen to vinyl, so I have a little record player here. So yeah, I listen to music, podcasts. Um, excuse me. What up, Jason? Terry Beveridge says, watching you on a 75-inch TV. Whoa, that's scary. I didn't put any makeup on today, Terry. Juan Gastelum, nice to see the process. I got here very late. Um, you're awesome, Juan, by the way. This is perfect. Would you add anything beyond? Thanks very much. Well, the thing I would add beyond this is to refine it. Right now, it's still I would consider it still very loose. It looks good from a distance, but I would want to go in there, like I was saying before, and work on the eyes and tighten them more. Work on the nose. And just the features. It's at the point now where the next step is for me to tighten up the features and that's where I make it more realistic and believable and soften things more and all that. But that takes a lot more time. Looks good. Skin looks real. Thanks. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Painting as well. TJ, off topic. I'm going to record a quick minute of comedy for the pod and email it over shortly. Sweet. That's awesome. Send it soon because I need to have that organized. I'm talking with Kevin on Saturday, but I would like it as soon as possible, TJ, because I have to organize everything. You have to figure out how we're going to do it too, because when I show him the video, he's not going to be able to hear it, so I have to like do it on my phone, and I'm going to have to like edit into the video later. It'll look cool in the final version, but he might. I think I'm only going to show him pictures of the person, let them hear it, but I want you to send a video if possible because I'm going to show the videos on the edited version, so that'd be cool. Carlos Taylor, thank you, Carlos. Juan Carlos Melo, I know that name from the podcast. How's it going? Thank you, Juan Stefan. Thanks, of course, man. Perfect. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Ramanjit. I don't know if I said that right, but and thank you, JP. Um, say no more, TJ. So yeah. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for following along with this. I had a lot of fun working on it, um, and yeah, this was a lot of fun to work on. Uh, it's kind of weird doing it like this, but I enjoy like hanging out and talking with people. It's kind of cool. Um, so I'm appreciative that you guys enjoyed it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Torin. It's awesome. I can't wait to see what you've been doing lately, man. I'm sure you're doing something pretty cool, Torin. But yeah, I'm gonna say adios. I gotta use the little boy's room, and I have to work a little bit more on my tutorial stuff that I'm gonna be putting out soon. So look forward to that. I'm going to have tutorials available on my Gumroad. If you go to www.gumroad.com/Jason Seiler, I have tutorials available. And so these two that I'm going to be putting out are going to be brand new, about 2 hours each. And they're going to be very detailed. And so forward to that. Look forward to Kevin Nealon. I'm talking with him this Saturday. That's going to be cool. And then next week, Michael Byers will be on my podcast. He's an awesome illustrator. I love his work. It's very different than mine. He's got really cool, like animated type style, very sketchy. Lots of really cool colors and just interesting style. I really like it a lot. I've known him for a long time. We used to have the same agent way back in the day, and I really like his work. So I'm looking forward to talking to him. He's done a lot of illustration work for every publication you can think of. So that's going to be really cool. And oh, I just hear that my little 2 year old just or almost 3 year old she just woke up. Can hear her running around upstairs. Anyways, thank you everybody. I'm gonna hit the road. And again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll check y'all out later. So, see you later, guys. I should probably push the button. Now, see you later.